Hare Krishna, devotees, Dhanvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Guru and Gauranga. So, we are going to start our discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, I am going to read this book along with commentaries of Srila Prabhupada and other senior devotees. So, this PDF as well as another PDF is called as Acharya Folio. So, I am also referring to this. After reading this book and for a further explanation, we go through the commentaries. Okay, so we are going to start our discussion. So, before start our discussion, please let us offer our obeisances to all the senior Vaishnavas, especially our Guru Maharaj, Gauranga. By his grace, we can repeat the words of Srila Prabhupada, understand in the same mood as Prabhupada has written. So this book is dedicated to Srila Baldev Vidya Bhushan. So Prabhupada especially dedicated, who presented Govinda Bhasya commentary on Vedanta philosophy. So he is one of our stalwart Acharya of Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. So actually this is in-depth Bhagavad Gita as it is. Some people say they have Bhagavad Gita. So we can ask, like, you have read Bhagavad Gita as it is? They say, it is kept in my home as it is. So it is not like that. We have to read as it is, not kept as it is. So we, after reading, reciting and realizing, we can relish the knowledge of Krishna consciousness more deeper. So I am not that much qualified that I can teach or somehow other, but I can read, and with this reading also I can share my realization. So I am going to start with Mangalacharan. And I also told you that Mangalacharan is explicitly given in this, but that thing we will later discuss. So this video contains the preface part and introduction part of Srimad Bhagavad Gita before Mangalacharan. That's why Prabhupada has written this book. So actually this thing we are going to discuss in this video itself. Okay, so we are going to start with this part, forward and preface. This video contains only forward and preface part. In our next session, we are going to discuss Mangalacharan in detail. Mangalacharan, after Mangalacharan, we are going to discuss each verse, 1 or 2 verses in detail. Okay, so let's start. Forward. The Bhagavad Gita is the best known and the most frequently translated of Vedic religious text. Why it should be so appealing to the Western mind, why it should be so appealing to the Western mind is an interesting question. It has drama, for its setting is a scene of two great armies, banners flying, drawn up opposite one another on the field, poised for a battle. It has ambiguity, and the fact that Arjuna and his charioteer Krishna are carrying on their dialogue between the two armies suggests that indecision of Arjuna about the basic question should be entered battle against and kill those who are friends and kinsmen. It is mystery as Krishna demonstrates to Arjuna his cosmic form. It has properly complicated view of ways of the religious life and treats of path of knowledge, works, discipline and faith and other interrelationships, problems that have bothered adherents of other religion in other time and places. The devotion spoken of is a deliberate means of religious satisfaction, not a mere outpouring of poetic emotion. Next to the Bhagavad Puran, a long work from South India, the Gita is the text most frequently quoted in the philosophical writings of Gaudiya Vaishnava school. The school represented by Swami Bhaktivedanta as the latest in a long succession of teachers. It can be said that this school of Vaishnavism was founded or revived by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 1486 to 1533 in Bengal, and that it is currently the strongest single religious force in the eastern part of Indian subcontinent. The Gaudiya Vaishnava school, for whom Krishna is himself the supreme God, not merely an incarnation of another deity, sees bhakti as an immediate and powerful religious force consisting of love between man and God. A discipline consists of devoting all one's actions to the deity, and one listens to the stories of Krishna from sacred texts. One chants Krishna's name, washes, bathes, and dresses the murti of Krishna or Vigraha of Krishna, feed him, and takes the remains of food offered to him. Thus, absorbing his grace, one does these things and many more until one has been changed. The devotee has become transformed into one close to Krishna and see the Lord face to face. Swami Bhaktivedanta comments upon the Gita from this point of view, and that is legitimate. More than that, in this translation, the Western readers has the unique opportunity to see how a Krishna devotee interprets his own text. It is the Vedic exegetical tradition, justly famous in action. This book is then welcome addition from many point of view. It can serve as a valuable textbook for college student. It can serve as a valuable textbook for the college student. It allows us to listen to a skilled interpreter explicating a text which has profound religious meaning. It gives us insight into original and highly convincing ideas of Gaudiya Vaishnava school. In providing the Sanskrit in both Devanagari and transliteration, it offered Sanskrit specialists the opportunity to reinterpret or debate particular Sanskrit meaning. Although I think there will be little disagreement about the quality of Swami's Sanskrit scholarship. And finally, for non-specialists, there is readable English and devotional attitude which cannot help but move the sensitive reader. And there are the paintings which, incredibly as it may seem to those familiar with contemporary Indian religious art, were done by American devotees. The scholar and student of Gaudiya Vaishnavism and the increasing number of Vaishnava readers interested in classic Vedic thought have been done a service by Swami Bhaktivedanta and bringing us a new and living interpretation of a text already known to many. He has increased our understanding manifold, an argument for understanding. In these days of estrangement need not be made. So there is preface by Professor Edward C. DeMock Jr., Department of South Asian Languages and Civilization, University of Chicago. So now we are going to preface, which is written by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So why he has written this book and all this basics he has explained. So Prabhupada says, preface. Originally I wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is in the form in which it is presented now. Originally, Prabhupada talking about earlier time. So originally I wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is in the form in which it is presented now. When this book was first published, the original manuscript was unfortunately cut short to the less than 400 pages, without illustrations and without explanations for most of the original verses of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In all of my other books, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Ishopanishad, etc., the system is like that. I give the original verse, its English transliteration, word for word, Sanskrit English equivalents, translations and purports. This makes book very authentic and scholarly and make the meaning self-evident. I was not very happy therefore when I had to minimize my original manuscript. But later on, when the demand for Bhagavad Gita as it is considerably increased, I was requested by many scholars and devotees to present the book in its original form, and Messrs. Macmillan and Company agreed to publish the complete edition. Thus, the present attempt is to offer the original manuscript of this great book of knowledge with full parampara explanation in order to establish the Krishna consciousness movement more soundly and progressively. I think the Prabhupada purports are more than enough. We did not have to discuss in very detail. Prabhupada has given is all one is purports. So we are going to focus in Prabhupada purports only. Okay, so move forward. Our Krishna consciousness movement is genuine, historically authorized, natural and transcendental due to its being based on Bhagavad Gita as it is. It is gradually becoming the most popular movement in the entire world, especially amongst the younger generation. It is becoming more and more interesting to the older generations also. Older gentlemen are becoming interested so much that the fathers and grandfathers of my disciples are encouraging us by becoming life members of our great society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In Los Angeles, many fathers and mothers used to come to see me to express their feelings of gratitude for leading the Krishna consciousness movement throughout the entire world. Some of them say that it is greatly fortunate for the American that I have started the Krishna consciousness movement in America. But actually the original father of this movement is Lord Krishna himself, since it was started very long time ago, but it is coming down to the human society by disciplic succession. If I have any credit in this connection, it does not belong to me personally, but it is due to my eternal spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Om Vishnupad Paramhansa, Parivacharya, Ashtottara Shat Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. If personally I have any credit in this matter, it is only that I have tried to present Bhagavad Gita as it is, without adulteration. Before my presentation of Bhagavad Gita as it is, almost all the English editions of Bhagavad Gita were introduced to fulfill someone's personal ambition. But our attempt in presenting Bhagavad Gita as it is to present the mission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Our business is to present the will of Krishna, not that of any mundane speculator like the politician, philosopher or scientist. For they have very little knowledge of Krishna, despite of all their other knowledge. When Krishna says, Man manabha mad bhakto madhya jimam namaskuru, etc., we, unlike the so-called scholar, do not say that Krishna and his inner spirits are different. Krishna is absolute, and there is no difference between Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's quality, Krishna's pastimes, etc. This absolute position of Krishna is difficult to understand for any person who is not a devotee of Krishna in the parampara, disciplic succession system. Generally, the so-called scholar, politician, philosopher and swamis without perfect knowledge of Krishna try to banish or kill Krishna when writing commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Such unauthorized commentary upon Bhagavad Gita is known as Mayavadi Bhasya, and Lord Chaitanya has warned us about this unauthorized man. Lord Chaitanya clearly says that anyone who tries to understand Bhagavad Gita from the Mayavadi point of view will commit a great blunder. The result of such blunder will be that misguided student of Bhagavad Gita will certainly be bewildered on the path of spiritual guidance and will not be able to go back to home, back to Godhead. Our only purpose is to present this Bhagavad Gita as it is in order to guide the conditioned soul or conditioned student to the same purpose for which Krishna descends to this planet once in a day of Brahma or every 8600 lakhs years. This purpose is stated in Bhagavad Gita, and we have to accept it as it is. Otherwise, there is no point in trying to understand the Bhagavad Gita and its speaker. Lord Krishna first spoke Bhagavad Gita to the Sun God some hundreds of years ago, or millions of years ago. We have to accept this fact, thus understand The historical significance of Bhagavad Gita without misinterpretation. On the authority of Krishna. To interpret Bhagavad Gita without any reference to the will of Krishna is the greatest offense. In order to save oneself from this offense, one has to understand that Lord as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as he was directly understood by Arjuna, Lord Krishna's first disciple. Such understanding of Bhagavad Gita is really profitable and authorized for the welfare of human society in fulfilling the mission of life. The Krishna consciousness movement is essential in human society. The Krishna consciousness movement is essential in human society, for it offers highest perfection of life. How this is so is explained fully in the Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately, mundane wranglers have taken advantage of Bhagavad Gita to push forward their demonic propensities and mislead people regarding the right understanding of simple principles of life. Everyone should know how God or Krishna is great, and everyone should know the factual position of living entities. Everyone should know that a living entity is eternally servant, and that unless one serves Krishna, one has to serve illusion and different varieties of the three modes of material nature. And thus, perpetually one has to wander within the cycle of birth and death. Even the so-called liberated Mayavadi speculator has to undergo this process. This knowledge constitutes a great science, and each and every living entity has to hear it for his own interest. People in general, especially in this age of Kali, are enamored by external energy of Krishna, and they wrongly think that by advancement of material comfort, even every man will be happy. People in general, especially in this age of Kali, are enamored by external energy of Krishna, Maya, and they wrongly think that by advancement of material comfort, every man will be happy. They have no knowledge that material or external nature is very strong, for everyone is strongly bound by the stringent law of material nature. A living entity is happily the part and parcel of Lord, and thus its natural function is to render immediate service to the Lord. By the spell of illusion, one tries to be happy by serving his personal sense gratification in a different form, which will never make him happy. Instead of satisfying his own personal material senses, he has to satisfy the senses of Lord. That is the highest perfection of life. The Lord wants this and he demands it. One has to understand the central point of Bhagavad Gita. Our Krishna consciousness movement is teaching the whole world this central point. And because we are not polluting the theme of Bhagavad Gita as it is, anyone seriously interested in deriving benefit by studying Bhagavad Gita must take help from the Krishna consciousness movement for practical understanding of Bhagavad Gita under the direct guidance of the Lord. We hope therefore that people will derive the greatest benefit by studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. As we have presented it here, and even if one man becomes pure devotee of the Lord, we shall consider our attempt a success. So that is the humility of Srila Prabhupada. You don't think that I have the capacity to become everyone devotee. Actually he was pure devotee or liberated soul, Goloka man. But somehow by his humility he is saying like that if one person become pure devotee, he consider or he think his attempt will success. So we are going to listen or understand Bhagavad Gita by this great Acharya in the line of disciplic succession with realizations and so many examples in purpose. So with this we have completed our introduction part, preface. So we will meet in our next discussion, which starts with our introduction part and especially this Mangalacharan. Thank you so much for hearing. Hare Krishna. Your servant Brijesh Tanai Das.